Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry I can't be there in person as well. Ireland is definitely one of my favourite places to visit. So not sure when we'll get the opportunity to travel, but thank you for your time. I just want to introduce to you Walk with Path, which is the company I work for, and Pathfinder, which is a product designed for freezing of gait and Parkinson's disease. So a quick overview. I'm going to introduce Walk with Path, go through a very quick overview of Parkinson's, freezing of gait, Pathfinder, and then if there's any questions, we can have them at the end. So a quick introduction to Walk with Path. We're a health tech company focused on revolutionizing mobility and fall prevention through active wearables. We've partnered with lots of institutions, from the universities to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. We've also had a lot of press coverage and also a lot of recognition through awards. However, our story actually goes back to a very sort of humble beginning and a very personal one. And that was our founder, Lisa Papp, her father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And after she firsthand experienced the challenges he was having in his day-to-day life, she wanted a simple solution that would aid and give confidence to people with Parkinson's. So a quick overview of Parkinson's. Parkinson's is the second most common neurodegenerative disease. It reduces mobility and affects over 10 million people in the world. There are 1.2 million people within Europe, and Parkinson's is set to be a pandemic that will double by 2040. So there is a huge unmet need for the vulnerable population. Parkinson's disease is a result in motor and non-motor dysfunction caused by the degeneration of dopamine-producing cells. So there's a lack of production of dopamine, and the connection of where the dopamine cells are not in sync. Quick overview of signs and symptoms. So the main observation with people with Parkinson's is the fact that they experience tremors. So this is usually shaking, and it also begins when a person has a limb that's relaxed, unresting. Also slowness of movement, known as bradykinesia. So this is physical movement, which is much slower than normal and makes everyday tasks difficult. Muscle stiffness, rigidity, is also one that affects people with Parkinson's. Makes it difficult for them to move around, also can affect their facial expressions, and can result in painful muscle cramps. Finally, all those signs together actually can lead to anxiety. So a person with Parkinson's experiencing unease, being worried, or losing loss of confidence. So what's the best way to treat? Exercise and physiotherapy. So this works to help relieve muscle stiffness, pain, help improve walking, and try to give people with Parkinson's their mobility back again. This is combined with medication, which is the main form of treatment, and this is to really help focus on the tremors and movement. Finally, surgery. Deep brain stimulation can be used in some cases by implanting a pulse generator. Freezing of gait. Freezing of gait affects more than half of all people with Parkinson's. It's described as the feeling of being stuck on the ground. The exact cause is unknown, and it makes it difficult to initiate walking. A key factor of freezing is that it's the main cause for falls and fractures within this vulnerable population. Freezing and falls. So 60% of people with Parkinson's will fall at least once per year, and 39% of these will do so recurrently. Having an increased risk of osteoporosis, this leads to a triple risk of hip fractures. In addition to this, there's also the personal consequence. So stress, pain, injury, loss of confidence, and loss of independence. So what is the typical support for these people and freezing? Well, people with low to moderate risk of falls should include strength and balance programs that physiotherapists tend to provide. Why are people with PD so prone to falling? Well, it's a combination of factors, but mainly down to gait dysfunction. So the fact that it's continuous. So there's a reduced gait speed, arm swing, step length, and increased asymmetry and variability. Also the fact that these freezing episodes are episodic, meaning that they're not easy to plan, and therefore it makes it difficult for a person to be prepared for them. Finally, Parkinson's also adds to balance dysfunction, abnormal posture, increased sway, inability to change sensory weighting. Postural strategies to perturbate altered anticipatory adjustment abnormal. So there's a combination of these factors. So why cueing as a solution? Well, cueing to reduce falls is a management of freezing episodes cannot be achieved through medication or surgery. So non-pharmacological methods such as cueing have emerged as effective techniques to alleviate freezing of gait. External cues increase perceptual sensations by providing an explicit temporal or spatial motor target. There are various types of cueing: auditory, haptic, and visual cues. Cueing is the mode is dependent on the person. However, literature suggests visual cues may be preferred. So this was published in the American Journal of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, which confirms that freezing of gait is aided and preferred cueing method is visual cueing. How does it work? Well, stepping over transverse lines regularly drawn on the floor is immediate and a powerful impact, and Pathfinder incorporates this validated method with the addition of its hands-free and innovative design. In scientific terms, the cue activates the motor cortex in the brain and provides this wearer with a visual cue to step across, therefore initiating movement. The visual cue restarts movement and acts as a safety net. A brief introduction into Pathfinder. So Pathfinder improves confidence in 92% of its users. It also improves self-esteem and enables users to have a willingness to try new things. This is one of the testimonies from a physiotherapist who saw a man lift his cane and walk confidently only with Pathfinder laser shoes. He said it was a miracle. Here's a video of how the device works.
Hello, welcome to our instructional video showing you how to fit, calibrate and use Pathfinder. Pathfinder is intended to help overcome freezing of gait and allow you to walk with confidence. When you open the Pathfinder box, you will see the user guide. Underneath this, you will see the main units, the charging cables and the wall plug. Remove the units from the packaging. You will see that they are attached to rubber straps which should be placed around your shoes. Fit Pathfinder to the shoe like this. First, you should place the toe of the shoe into the front of the strap. Then, pull the strap around the heel of the shoe. Make sure you place each unit on the correct foot as labelled. The strap should fit snugly on your shoe. If the straps do not fit closely or are not the right size, please contact us. Once Pathfinder is fit onto your shoe correctly, press the button on the top. The button should have a green light indicating the unit is switched on. The laser light will come on shortly afterwards. Do not shine the laser light anywhere but the floor. In particular, avoid shining lasers at faces or eyes. Once the laser light is on, you can calibrate Pathfinder. To do so, you can rotate the unit on its base in all directions. You can also rotate the dial on the front of the unit to adjust the line angle. The ideal position for the laser line projection is at right angles in front of the opposing foot. The laser provides a line over which you should aim to step. You can adjust the line to suit your way of walking. When the light on the button of Pathfinder turns red, this means the unit has low battery. In order to charge it, you must remove the charging cable and plug from the box. Remove the rubber bung from the charging port at the back of the unit and insert the round end of the cable. Then, insert the USB end of the cable into the base of the wall plug. The wall plug can take 2 USB cables, so you can charge both left and right units simultaneously. Insert the plug into the wall, leave them charging until the lights turn green. They are then fully charged again and ready for use. If you have any further questions about Pathfinder, please contact us via our website, by email or by phone.
So what is Pathfinder? As you've seen, it's a laser shoe attachment that helps people with Parkinson's disease and freezing of gait to walk independently. The laser provides the visual cue and helps make the next step easier. It's proven and tested to alleviate freezing of gait. So this reduces the number of freezing episodes, also the duration of freezing episodes. It can help improve shuffling, proven to increase confidence and reduce falls. It also improves social engagement. It's CE marked as a medical device. How does it work? A green horizontal laser is projected onto the ground. The laser is at a set distance from the user's feet. This can be calibrated to the user's unique step. The laser acts as an external stimulus to trigger walking. Here's a video and testimonials from our users.
The feeling of walking with them is about 50% of the amount I have to think and walk.
Pathfinder is most useful when I'm going off and I'm beginning to lose my coordination.
Okay.
I was out to show you. It's quite extraordinary.
I think trying this really made her independent.
Det næsten som en mirakel, ikke? Det er bare en tilfældig mand, jeg hævet op og se, der kommer snart.
I hope somebody else gets some help with these, especially somebody young.
So the key benefits is hands-free, step sync queuing, which means there's no multitasking needed. The device works when your right foot lifts up, the laser cue switches off, and when the right foot touches back down again, it activates a cue on the floor for the left foot. Can be used at all stages of the mobility journey. So from the video, you'll see people that were using them independent of using walking aids and walkers, but also with them as well. The lines are consistently and provide for every step, and it's calibrated to the user's unique step length. So, in summary, it reduces freezing of gait, there are fewer falls, it's better psychological health, better mobility and confidence, participation in the community, better quality of life, improved social inclusion, and a reduced cost to the healthcare system. So how do you choose the right patient? Well, do they have functional vision? Do they have functional cognition? Are they mobile, i.e. without a wheelchair? Then, do they react to visual cues? So do they experience shuffling, freezing of gait, movement or blockages? Do they experience Parkinson's related walking problems? Or do they just struggle to initiate walking? Is their walking up the stairs easier than across a blank floor? And if someone places a foot in front of theirs, does it help them overcome freezing? If the answer is yes, Pathfinder will likely help. Here's some clinical evidence. So queuing using laser shoes was associated with a significant reduction in the number of freezing of gait episodes. So both off medication at 45.9% and on medication of 37.7%. This is published by Neurology. Also published by Parkinsonism and Related Disorders, the laser shoe is a new form of continuous ambulatory cueing for patients. And then finally, in the World Parkinson's Congress, Kyoto 2019, wearable devices increases the quality of life in people with Parkinson's. Here's a testimony from one of our users who did nearly 8.6 miles. And he goes, this is the furthest he's walked in days, in years. Pathfinder, he used as training aid, and he noticed a big change in how he takes his steps. So in terms of next steps, how can you buy in confidence? Well, we have a 14-day return policy. Also, the device is VAT exempt for EU patients. Here's my email address if you'd like to contact me, or my telephone number. So I'd like to take it over to you guys to see if you've got any questions.
Put our video back up again. I guess my first question is, how long is the battery life on the laser shoes?
Great. So it will depend on how much a person walks every day. However, we would say it lasts to 2-3 days. We would actually recommend that at the end of the day, a person using them would just put the chargers on overnight.
Okay, perfect. If anyone else has questions, just shout. Yeah, that was my next one. Cost, I guess, because that's the question we'll get off the patients if we even discuss an aid or anything like that. And is there any funding, I guess, available for an aid like this?
Yes, so the device is €999, and we're actually working with Parkinson's Ireland to see how we can get this introduced through the health system. In terms of the UK, the way it would work is that the physiotherapy department has a sort of discretionary spend, a special order form, where they can purchase the product as a one-off for a device for their different people with Parkinson's. So I don't know if there's something similar to that in Ireland. However, that's a good way to kind of circumnavigate the sort of barriers to getting the product to the patient. However, one thing we also do is if you have a patient that would like to purchase it independently, we do have a grant system where we can offer them a discount since they're self-funding.
Okay. And then in regards to if a patient was to order it, are they required then to see a physio for kind of setup, or is it mainly done kind of with instructions like from you guys, or how does that work?
Yeah, so as you saw, we've got a great video that shows the setup. However, if a person does have a challenge, obviously they can go to a physio to see how to set it up. However, we can also help them with our online facilities.
Okay. And you were saying it might be possible for us maybe to get maybe a pair to do as a trial to try and get some buy-in. Maybe we do see a lot of Parkinsonian type gait here, although it may not be the only reason they're here, but it's definitely something we would see quite often. So if there was a possibility of getting one as a trial, it would be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So they come in different sizes in terms of there's a extra large, large, and a medium size. I'll send over those sizings to you so you can have a look. If you let me know which one you prefer, I'll arrange for a demo pair to be sent so you can have a play around with for a month. Obviously, this is a demoed pair that goes to different facilities. So if you feel that it could be useful, we could also arrange for a discounted pair for the hospital so that you could use and trial with patients as well. But I'll be more than happy to send you a pair for a month to have a play around with.
That'd be great. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, could I just ask, obviously Parkinson's patients perhaps need to get up to the toilet at night time. How viable is it to leave those devices on, say, a pair of slippers and then put their feet into the slippers with the device on? Or do they have to have their feet in the shoe or the footwear and then apply the device?
Yeah. Yeah, so the way the device attaches onto the shoe is that if a person's put them on top of the shoe and they can slide their foot in and out, then that's absolutely fine. So a slippers is a great example of something where you would probably do that. But obviously it will only work once it's attached onto the shoe, and obviously it has to be attached to both shoes so that it's giving that step sync guidance.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to have a future attachment. So as the sort of wearer's condition changes, what we are also developing is that you could take the laser off one of the shoes, and then you could just attach it and place it onto, for example, like a walker or a cane, so that a person could use it for the whole mobility journey.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions? Yeah.
Clinical trials that you did, were those patients that were walking, the results of their walking, was it indoor or outdoor mobility or both?
In the clinical trials that you did, was it indoor or outdoor mobility that you were focusing on for the laser shoes, or both?
Great question. Actually, I don't know the answer, so I'd have to come back to you on that, but I'll come back to you.
No problem. Anything else? No? Yeah, so thank you so much for agreeing to do this, and I look forward to getting the testers out here, and we can have a little play around with them now that we know what we're dealing with. You have my contact information anyway, and I've passed around your information with the staff here, but I guess we'll be in touch.
Okay, fantastic. And if you've got any questions, or any of your colleagues, please feel free to reach out to me.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good time. Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye. Bye.